Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om Sahana Vavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Sahaviran Karavavahai Tejasvinavadi Tamastu Ma Vidvishavahai Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Let us all be together. Let us all be nourished together. Let us all work together with great vigor. May the wonderful yearning and learning of the Vedas illuminate our intellects. May we not have any animosity toward one another, but love and harmony. May there be peace for one and all. Offering our collective salutations, adorations, and prostrations at the lotus feet of our beloved Veda Mata, Veda Purusha, Bhagavan Sri Satya Sai Baba. Most revered elders, dearest sisters, brothers, and our loving children, loving greetings, Sairams to each and every one of you. We are joining from various parts of this beautiful planet Earth, Mother Earth, and it's the essence of Vasudeva Kutumbakam. We are connected virtually, but most certainly spiritually. And tonight, though we connected via the internet, we're going to be surfing the internet. And though we are connected with Wi-Fi, we will recognize that the strongest connection is SAI, Sci-Fi. How blessed we are, sisters and brothers, to come together to dwell on the infinite glory and divine story of the Lord. The theme of these webinars is called Veda Rasa, the sweetness, juice, and nectar, ambrosial honey of the Veda. And I'm sure, sisters and brothers, you will all agree that there can't be a more apt or suitable instrument of the Lord to share the sweetness of the Veda than Uncle Shekharji. For every line, rather every syllable of the Veda, he expresses the true inner meaning and sweetness. When I think about it and contemplate, I'm reminded of a paragraph from Hanuman Chalisa. It says, Laye sa jeevana lakana jiyaye, Shri Raghuvir harashuralaye, Raghupati kini bahutu badaye, Tumma mama priya bharatai samabhaye. That when Lakshmana was injured by Indrajit and they consulted the doctor in Lankas, Sushena, what is the cure? He said, it's very difficult. There's only one cure. There's a herb, Sanjeevani, but it's found by the Himalayas. Before he could complete the sentence, Hanumanji was off in a leap and brought back this entire mountain which had this herb. And Sri Rama said, Tuma mama priya bharatai samabhai, you are as dear to me as my brother Bharata, and he embraced him. When I think about it, I feel that in 2006, when Bhagavan Sri Satya Sai Baba in the Atirudra Mahayajnam in Prashanti Nilayam said that the Veda should go to every country and one and all should learn it, for that is the cure for humanity. Before he could complete that sentence, Uncle Shekhar was flying to various parts of the world, and like Hanuman set the entire Lanka alight. Wherever Uncle Shekhar goes, he spreads the light of the Vedas. Sisters and brothers, I'm sure you all will agree how blessed, how fortunate we are. South Africa, rather Africa, the soil of Africa is so blessed that for the first time this year, we had an Atirudra Mahayajnam, and Uncle Shekhar was truly instrumental in orchestrating this beautiful Mahayajnam. How do we express gratitude? We can say that Uncle Shekhar is a citizen of South Africa. And I'm sure all the brothers and sisters from around the world will agree that he feels a part of every country of this world. When we look at the Uncle Shekhar being born in India, residing in America, and touching the hearts of South Africa. In South Africa, it starts with S. America is A, and India is I. SAI, the golden triangle. We're ever grateful to Uncle Shekhar. And thank you, Uncle Shekhar ji, for your time. And I think everyone is just looking forward to being in satsang with you and just experiencing the sweetness and nectar of the Veda. So I wish I could go on and just express our gratitude and our love, but I'm sure everyone is waiting just to hear from you the wonderful essence of Shivopasana. On that note, sisters and brothers, how fortunate we are as well that during this time of Shravana Masa, and on the cusp as well of Krishna Janmashtami, to come together to be in satsang today. Sisters and brothers, if you have any questions as well, you're welcome to put them in the Zoom chat box or the YouTube chat box. And at the end, Brother Samart will be sharing the questions with Uncle Shekharji, and you'll be able to discuss them. Also, just to share how beautiful it is to come together in satsang. I was asking Brother Samart a few hours ago, are you sure it'll be okay if you can facilitate the question and answers and the concluding prayer for this evening? Because in India, it will be just before 1 a.m. in the morning. And he said, brother, I'm looking so forward to this wonderful satsang with Uncle Shekhar. So sisters and brothers, that just provides the essence as well of how blessed we are this evening and for the next 3 Fridays as well. Without further ado, hand over to Uncle Shekharji. Thank you so much, and Sai Ram, sisters and brothers.
गणानान्त्वा गणपतिगुं हवामहे कविं कवीनामुपमश्रवस्तमं ज्येष्ठराजं ब्रह्मणां ब्रह्मणस्पत आनशृण्वन्नोतिभिः सीदसादनम् प्रणो देवी सरस्वती वाजेभिर्वाजिनीवती धीनामवित्र्यवतु गणेशाय नमः सरस्वत्यै नमः श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ॐ हृदाकाशे सदा भान्तं शान्तमानन्दरूपिणं ज्ञानभानुमहं वन्दे सद्गुरुं सत्यसायिनम् ॐ श्रीगुरवे श्रीसत्यसायिनाथ श्रीपादुकां पूजयामि नमः ॐ श्रीपरमगुरवे श्रीशिरिडिसायिनाथ श्रीपादुकां पूजयामि नमः नमः ॐ श्रीपरमेष्ठिगुरवे श्रीदत्तात्रेयस्वामि श्रीपादुकां पूजयामि नमः सद्गुरुचरणारविन्दाभ्यां नमः ॐ नमो गुरुभ्यो गुरुपादुकाभ्यो नमः परेभ्यः परपादुकाभ्यः आचार्यसिद्धेश्वरपादुकाभ्यो नमोऽस्तु पर्तिपति पादुकाभ्यः सद्गुरुचरणारविन्दाभ्यां नमः हरिः ॐ Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, Hari Om, Shalom, Sairam, Namaste. It's such a beautiful, as Brother Kavir with his very kind introduction has already mentioned, this having this satsang on a Shravana Shukravara, and which is the most auspicious because not only the day, the month, and the time cannot be more perfect than such an incredible presence of Bhagwan in this satsang, and offering all our collective love at the divine lotus feet of Bhagwan Sri Satya Sai Baba. Sai Ram to one and all, and my special love and gratitude to my dear son Kavir Daya. Daya means compassion, and he is truly compassion manifest. And it is such an incredible uh, happiness or pleasure to be with all my brothers and sisters from South Africa and from all over the world, United States. I see people from Europe, etc. One and all, Jai Sri Sairam. So the topic, the title of the series itself is so incredible. Veda Rasa. Rasa has brother already mentioned, Kabir mentioned many meanings, but rasa also means the essence of that. The essence of a fruit is its sweetness and its aroma. And the what is Veda Rasa? The essence of awareness, not the awareness just at individual level, the awareness at the collective universal level, the awareness that is spreading from your own individual self, which is Vyashti, to Samashti, the collective awareness, Srishti, the whole creation, and Parameshti, the entire master of the whole universe. Now you see how this whole word rasa spreads from one's own self to which is the individual to the cosmic consciousness, and that is what is Veda Rasa. Now, the topic that has been chosen this particular month, Shravana Masa, is not only auspicious for Shiva, but auspicious for Shakti worship, but is equally potent for Shiva worship. How beautiful whether we call it coincidence or incidence, how beautiful is the grace of Bhagwan that on this Shravana Masa we are contemplating, and especially right before the cusp of Krishna Janmashtami, contemplating on Shivopasana Mantra. And the purpose of all this awareness, just to be very clear, the journey of this speaker in the context of all this is the prayer to Bhagavan that this awareness should be experienced independent of one's own religious affiliation, caste, creed, gender. It's universal teaching. This ananda or the rasa that you get, the sweetness of it, is experienced when you eat a mango, whatever caste, creed, religion, whatever human race you come from, the experience of that sweetness of the mango is unchanged. So when we contemplate on these Veda mantras, we are going beyond beyond our boundaries of our own self affiliations and identifications. And this has been this soul's journey. And since somewhere around from 2000 onwards until 2000, this speaker had absolutely no training in any Vedas. He is not a scholar in any Sanskritam or any of the Shastras or the scriptures. 100% zero. And the hero is Bhagwan Sri Satya Sai Baba. And that is the truth of the matter. Now, what the reason why I am giving this preamble is, this is not just me speaking or you listening. This is our collective awareness. The learning or the study of something happens in the cusp of the speaker and the listener. Avanucha namavasishyam. This is what truly is learning. And this learning is not that I am some scholar and I am going to illuminate you with all of this knowledge or anything like that. There is 100% no preparation associated with this satsang. The stronger our collective presence to this satsang, the more clear and the more vivid would be our connection to this collective awareness. हृदाकाशे सदा भान्तं शान्तं आनन्दरूपिणं ज्ञानभानुम् अहं वन्दे सद्गुरुं सत्यसायिनं. This satsang or whatever is the speaker going to speak is nothing associated with this light bulb. In this heart, which is the sky, is shining the supreme effulgence, just like the sun, and he is shining with wisdom. And to that effulgent wisdom, also known as, in that effulgent wisdom, if you call it in Sanskritam, the word for that is Bhagavan. Bhagavan means effulgence and wisdom. Effulgence as it relates to be able to see clearly, that is what light does, and that effulgence is shining as the wisdom in the heart, which is the sky, and that is Bhagavan Shri Satya Sai Baba, and he is Shantam, complete peace, Ananda Rupinam, embodiment of bliss, and to that effulgence, wisdom, peace, and bliss, aka Bhagwan Sri Satya Sai Baba, I offer my pranams along with all of us together. So the words are actually associated with incredible awareness within. We use the words only limited to our own awareness. Please listen to this very carefully. When you use a word, you only mean it to limited to your own awareness of that word. And therefore, the limitation is our own awareness. It's not about the word. So when you actually look at this beautiful mantra called Shivopasana, what does the word Shivopasana mean? That is where you should start. And when we start there, just in that word, Shivopasana, The entire essence of the hymn is in nutshell. It's like the seed. In that seed is present a magnanimous tree, a vatavraksham, a banyan tree is present in this little seed. And when that is expressed, and that expression is called mantra. Mananat trayate iti mantraha. That which opens up through contemplation, through concentration first, through contemplation, through meditation, through awareness. That mantra is the seed, and that seed now opens up into this beautiful awareness, and that is the hymn. So, in this mantra, the seed called Shivopasana is embedded the rest of the entire hymn. So, what is Shivopasana? In the word Shivopasana, there are three words that have come together to make that word Shivopasana. First one is Shivaha, second one is Upa, third one is Asana. Shivaha plus Upa, when joined together, the frication or called the visarga ha followed by an vowel turns into Shivo. So therefore we now converge to two words. Shivaha plus Upa became Shivo. Shiva, Upa become Shivopa. Then the third one is left, Asana. Shivopa plus Asana became Shivopasana. I know this is a webinar associated with giving some lecture, but I am not a pandit or a scholar to give lectures. I am more than ordinary. And so if someone is more than ordinary means it starts with looking at thing as it is, no intellectualization. So we are looking at this word called Shivopasana. And then we look at the word Shivopasana. There is Shivaha, Upa, Asana. So what does now each one of those mean? What is Shivaha? What is Upa? What is Asana? Let's start with the simple one. Asana. Asana means seat. Upasana means to be closely seated. What does it mean to be seated? To be seated means, let's be very clear, when you are seated, you are present at one place. When you are walking, you are not present at one place. You are running, you are not present at one place. Only when you are seated, you are present at that place. So therefore, we are now seated. We are present. We are not moving. We are steady. So for any mantra to be experienced, you first have to be steady. Steady. In study. Study. You cannot be a jumping Jones, multitasking, doing all those stuff. And if you are multitasking, jumping from one place to this place, oh, let him talk, I will check my WhatsApp messages in the meantime. You are not present, you are not seated because your mind is running, it is jumping. So, the first thing to do is this concentration, this focus. And then when you do that, and then we are saying, oh, I am going to be now steady and I am going to be seated close to this thing called Shivaha. Then what is Shivaha? What is Shiva? My prayer to Bhagavan Sri Satya Sai Baba when I started on this journey of Veda study was to actually bring my awareness that is not polluted by my prior knowledge or judgment about what these words mean. And it is His immense grace that in this 24 years of this Veda study journey, where the Master is always giving this awareness that is unpolluted by any prior understanding of that word. Erase it, Swami. Erase my understanding of what this word Shiva means. A white guy with matted hair sitting on a mountain and chilling out. Erase that. First, erase that. Erase. Clean slate. Be steady. Be aware. Arey, sir, what are you doing? I thought this mantra is really about invoking this Lord Shiva so that he will protect me, so that he will do this to me, do that to me. And then I am a bhakta, he is the God, and all of that stuff, all that paraphernalia. There is nothing wrong with that. Okay? I'm not trying to judge that awareness. The only issue with that is it is limited. It is limited. You have bound this incredible phenomenon called Shiva, and you have taken that infinite awareness, and now what you have done is you've put it, confined it to an idol, confined it to a picture, confined it to your image and imagination. That means you have limited the unlimited. How? Because your image of Shiva is only applicable to a finite number of people called Hindus. You see this beautiful backdrop that uh, of Sacramento Sai Center. You see on the sides all the religions, the Omkar, the wheel, Buddhist wheel, the cross, and then there is that Islam symbol, the Judaism, and in the bottom that the Nandi is covering is the flame of Zarathustra, Zoroastrianism. What happens to all those other faiths? Is this word Shiva then irrelevant to them? So now you can see this quest, this journey in learning the Shivopasana Mantra. And if Bhagavan has said that all should learn and practice this Vedas, if what he meant by that statement is that Shiva is limited to that image of the Hindus, what happens to all the rest of them? Shouldn't they not be learning Vedas? Should they be irrelevant? Now you see, this is a very important part of being a Satyasai devotee. And when Bhagwan says that Vedas are applicable to all faiths, all people, independent of caste, creed, religion, gender, affiliation, all that stuff, then what we need to really focus on is contemplation of this mantra and understanding of this mantra that is applicable to all of the above. So now we are getting into the topic of what is this Shiva? I didn't say even who is this Shiva. What is this Shiva? What is this Krishna? What is this Narayana? What do all those things mean? What do those words applicable to not my own individual preference of awareness, but awareness that is applicable to all religions, all universe even. So Shiva Ha, the word Shiva or Shiva has innumerable number of meanings. If you only look at the meaning of it, and none of them actually refer to a white guy with matted hair sitting chilling out on an ice mountain. When you have, if many of you I know here have on this forum have attended the Rudra Jnana Yajna and also the beautiful satsangs that we had in South Africa in August of last year, dwelling on this Sri Rudram. And in that context, let us recall what the word Shiva really implies. Shiva implies, brothers and sisters, many meanings. In English, I will first say Shiva is peace, Shiva is serenity, Shiva is purity, Shiva is safety, Shiva is restfulness, Shiva is security, Shiva is auspiciousness, Shiva is a liberation. For those of you who love to hear those in Sanskritam, Shantam, Shubhram, Shuddhata, Kshema, Vishranti, Bhadram, Kalyanam, Moksham. Are so beautiful, no? Anyone from any religion would love to have these things. The essence of any religion, if you look at them and what they convey, you practice a religion for peace, for serenity, for purity, for safety, to be restful, for security, for auspiciousness and liberation. So the word Shiva is now universally applicable with all those synonyms associated with the word Shiva. Shiva, as those synonyms, is now broken the shackles of confining that Shiva to one idol. So we took this word Shiva as the idol and transformed it into this ideal. And the ideals being that which confers, bestows peace, serenity, purity, safety, restfulness, security, auspiciousness, and liberation. By the way, the same meanings also apply to a large extent to this word called Shri. Now you understand why Shravana Masam is auspicious both for Shiva and also for Shri, that is the Shakti aspect of it. So the word Shiva, Shri are in a way synonyms. Shiva, in essence, awareness. Shiva is presence. So Shiva, now we understood what is this Shiva. Then the next aspect is Upa Asana. Now let's get into that and let's now go get seated in that. So far, so good. So, if that is what Shivopasana, what is this hymn really talking about? And let's broadly look at how this hymn goes. Most of you probably already learnt it, are learning it. And by the way, if you want to learn this mantra, including all the aspects of pronunciation, intonation, duration, frication, continuity, as a complete experience of it, we have shared, and I'm sure Kabir has shared that, or he can post the link on the chat on where this particular file is present, so that while we go through this, you don't get distracted through this. You will have what this mantra is really about. This mantra, the source of this mantra is Taittiriya Aranyakam in the 10th Prashna, which is also chanted as part of Mahanarayana Upanishad. Let's be very clear. When we contemplate on these mantras, we acknowledge the source. We acknowledge what is the source in which this beautiful hymn is elaborated on. And for those of you who have already know this mantra, you can divide this mantra into three parts. The first part is where you get this refrain or repetition of linga, linga, linga. So how does that go? Om Nidhanapataye Namaha Nidhanapatantikaya Namaha Urdhvaya Namaha Urdhvalingaya Namaha Hiranyaya Namaha Hiranyalingaya Namaha Suvarnaya Namaha Suvarnalingaya Namaha Divyaya Namaha Divyalingaya Namaha Bhavaya Namaha Bhavalingaya Namaha Sharvaya Namaha Sharvalingaya Namaha Shivaya Namaha Shivalingaya Namaha Jvalaya Namaha Jvalalingaya Namaha Atmaya Namaha Atmalingaya Namaha Paramaya Namaha Paramalingaya Namaha Etat Somasya Suryasya Sarvalingagastapayati Pani Mantram Pavitram. This is the first part of the mantra. And now in this mantra, there is a repetition of the word. You say something and you associate a linga with it. After the very first mantra, Nidhanapataye Namaha, Nidhanapatantikaya Namaha. Then it starts all the lingas. Urdhvalinga, Hiranyalinga, Suvarnalinga, Divyalinga, Bhavalinga, Sharvalinga, Shivalinga, Jwalalinga, Atmalinga, and Paramalinga. How many? 10. 10 lingas are invoked. Clear, no? I'm counting one more time. Urdhvalinga, Hiranyalinga, Suvarnalinga, Divyalinga, Bhavalinga, Sharvalinga, Shivalinga, Jwalalinga, Atmalinga, Paramalinga. 10 lingas. Arey, what is this lingas now? You see this beautiful backdrop. This is our center altar for Shivratri. See, this beautiful linga is there. And in the center of this linga is the Parama linga. That is the beautiful, ideal Bhagavan, Baba. And now you see also around this in front of Swami, there are lingas that were made with flowers. All these beautiful lingas, 10 lingas. Once you get into this level of awareness, I am telling you, the experience of chanting these hymns is surreal, brothers and sisters. Your mind will not even move a little bit, even. It's completely grounded. Linga, you're seeing this beautiful linga behind me in the background and also in my heart here. Linga. This linga means Bhagavan has given the meaning liyate gamayate iti lingaha. Linga means that from which everything emerges, that into which everything merges. That is what a linga is. The what we call as the test to everything that I am talking, that this speaker puts to its himself, is, are we talking language that is universal, that is not confined to one religion, one sect, one caste, one creed, nothing like that? Is that universal language? Is it common sense? Is it common sense? So everything we talk about, if it doesn't meet that metric of common sense, then we failed, because we are not connecting the individual awareness to collective awareness. Only when you can connect your individual awareness to collective awareness, then you will be able to totally transform yourself and ascend yourself in your awareness. Otherwise, you will be stuck in the rutter like a mouse, thinking that, like a frog in the well that thinks that it is now in an ocean. And then this frog in the well, a bird was carrying a fish, and by mistake it dropped into this well. And the frog in the well asked, "Hey, welcome to my home. Where did you come from?" "Oh, I came from the ocean." "Ocean? Is that as big as this?" The frog is asking the fish from the ocean, "Is your ocean as big as this?" And you are the fish. How do you answer that question? So, therefore, from a frog in the well, your awareness has to expand to that fish in the ocean. And that can only happen if your God is complete, is complete, has absolutely no affiliation with any religion, loves every religion, love all, serve all. The word love all doesn't mean an emotional love to everybody, brothers and sisters. The word love means, have you expanded your awareness? Only when you expand your awareness, you are in love. And therefore, we're talking about this word linga. We talked about the word Shiva. Now we are talking about the word linga. And this linga means what? An oval object sitting on a platform. And that image of that is now confined to who? That means you are now frog in the well. So therefore, what did Bhagavan say? Linga. What does linga mean? Bhagavan said that from which everything emerges, that into which everything merges. This is linga. Oh my God. Okay, Samardhar Kavir, you need to give me 5 minutes warning. So, because if there are any questions, I would also like to take. So now we are at this point of the word called linga, and linga means that from which everything emerges, that into which everything merges. Oh, what is that? What is it in you? What is it in you or in each and every one of us from which everything is emerging and into which everything is merging? What is it in you? Each and every one of us. What emerging means? That which is taking you outside, that which is bringing it back inside. Simple. Emerging, merging. That which is taking outside, taking your awareness outside and bringing back your awareness inside. What is that in each of us? And when we connect to that, then the next thing we have to do is that common to everyone? Because now you took your individual awareness and synchronized with collective awareness. You are all thinking what some lecture will be given with all experiences of Bhagavan Baba, and then we will have this sat sang, SATSANG, lot of people sitting at one place and singing, and they call it satsang or sat sang, SATSANG. That is not what this is about. This is really about our awareness. Okay. That which is going out when you look at something, let's now be very clear, is the thought. Then that thought that goes outside looks at something outside and then it tries to analyze it. Is it good or bad? Is it right or wrong? And try, is it real or unreal? That is the most profound analysis you can do. But our instrument that is within us does not do that. It only judges. Do I like? Do I dislike? Is it right or is it wrong? But that intellect that asks the question that I am seeing outside, is that real or unreal? That is the supreme aspect of it. So therefore, two things we talk. Thought takes you outside, and what is taken outside is looked at by something, and that what is looked at comes back, or what is looked at will be acted upon. What do I do with it? And then it comes back. Comes back as what? An experience, a memory, an impression, and it is stored. See, I'm not using any of the words that Vedanta or Pandits use, nothing like that. That is the second spiritual exercise you should erase. Erase all your erase all your prior knowledge. Clean slate. Look at something in real. What exactly here and now, what I described is emerging and merging. How is it emerging? As thought. And once it is emerging as thought, it analyzes. Once it analyzes, it asks the question, should I do something about it or not do something about it? Then that creates an impression. If you did something about it, it creates an impression or an experience, and that experience comes back and gets stored. That means what? It came back and it is stored. Wow, this is linga. This is linga. This is what is linga. You have to meditate on this and ask the question, whatever is the speaker saying, is that my experience or not? And if it is not, then there is something we need to have a, you should ask a question. Whatever I described, brothers and sisters, is the experience of a human being, period, not associated with any individual category. Just think about it. Is a human being, as a human being, we have this one tool that does four jobs, and that first tool is thinking about something. When you think, you went outside, and then you ask the question, what did I see, perceive? And that perception analyzes, is it right, wrong, good, bad, happy, unhappy, whatever is the dualistic approach. And then, but the real thing is it real or unreal? That is the ultimate question. We never ask that question. We confine our thought analysis only to duality. And when we confine our analysis to duality, then what it does is it propels you to do something about it. I see something. Should I should I take it, not take it? Should I experience? Now, what do I do about it? That is the action. And then the last part is the experience of that collective of seeing, analyzing, doing creates an impression, and that impression is the memory. That's it. This is linga, emerging, merging. Wow. Array, what is then this thing about Hiranyalingaya Namaha, Suvarnalingaya Namaha, all that stuff? The first portion that I chanted with the lingas. Now imagine if you have this at the individual level and the same thing is happening at cosmic level. At cosmic level. It is happening at the cosmic level. Whatever this human body is endowed with or blessed with is present to, it is happening at the cosmic level at a multitude that is unimaginable. Wow. Then that cosmic thing, whatever you call it, that is moving, that is analyzing, that is doing, and that into which everything is merged, those are the 10. Actually, 9. Actually, 9. The last one is a beautiful is a beautiful thing called the ultimate parama, paramalingaya namaha. But all this, the most important thing is the 10th one, but all the 9 are already present. This is dashama. This is a very important number, dashama. Therefore, it is called Vijaya Dashami. Dashami is a very important number. 10. Number 10. And I will close this satsang with the number 10 with a beautiful with a beautiful uh, parable that is described in Upanishads. 10 people crossed the river, and after crossing the river, one of them wanted to make sure all the 10 have crossed. And then he started counting. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9. Only 9 he could count. 9 he could count. And then 10th one, hey, what happened to the 10th one? Arey yaar, he told the group, the 10th one is missing. We are missing one guy. Maybe he drowned in the river. And they all started crying so loud. And then one of the fellows like me happened to pass by. All these people crying. Arey guys, why are you crying? And the guy said, sir, we were 10 of us and we crossed the river. One is missing. And we are worried what happened to the 10th guy. And immediately the fellow recognized the problem. And then he said, Arey, count again. Okay. Tom, Dick, Harry, John, whatever. And then he stopped at 9. And then he took his finger, pointed at him, and then he said, you are the 10th. Dashamastvamasi. You are the 10th. And everybody was happy. That is the story about the 10. Let's pause here. Back to my brother Kavir, um, or Samar, I guess. So let's look at the questions.
Yes.
Let's
Sai
close.
Ram.
Yeah, and then you do the closing prayers.
Sure, sure, Uncle. Yeah. I think you paused perfectly. I think you didn't need any reminder. I think that there's three questions so far. The first one is from YouTube, actually. We can take that. I think they are requesting for clarity, what is the difference between mantra as opposed to suktam?
Ah, okay.
Maybe we can take that
Okay.
one first. Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Mantra is a pearl. Suktam is a pearl necklace. So that means Suktam is a very beautifully formed compilation of mantras. Su Uktam becomes Suktam. Su means beautifully, Uktam means presented or spoken. So what you heard for the last 1 hour is Suktam. Okay. That which is beautifully stringed together. What have we strung together, taking each word and beautifully compiled? So the rishis have taken different pearls of wisdom from different Veda sources and they compiled it together to form a Shri Suktam. And this Shri Suktam was compiled because this is Shravana Masam. This Shravana Masam is very auspicious for Shri Suktam. That Suktam was assembled by three rishis that were the sons of Mahalakshmi, so called sons of Mahalakshmi. That is Ananda, Kardama, Chiklita. Those are the three rishis that compiled that beautiful Suktam, Sri Suktam, and the mantras within that Sri Suktam, each one of them, which is 15 mantras, those 15 mantras were compiled from Rigveda, from different places. Rigveda. That is the answer to that question.
Thank you, Uncle. Thank you. I think the next one is on the Zoom by I Yamamoto. And it's mentioning that I understood that moksha is not something you reach or earn. It's just to get rid of ignorance and be as I am. And I understand the truth intellectually, but I feel like I have no freedom and waiting for the right time. Is it possible to have true freedom with this body and mind?
Wow. This is a deep question from this person called
Yes.
I Yamamoto. And First time I asked her, "Who are you?" "Oh, I am I," she said. "I am I." As I still remember that in South Africa, she came to South Africa, Yajna, I. And when I asked, "Who are you?" she said, "I am I." I said, "Wow, that's so beautiful. Oh, so profound." So no wonder this question is coming from I. So the question we have to ask is, which I is asking this question? The I that is asking this question, if it is the I as the body, AI, or if it is the I, AI as the mind, answer is no, there will not be freedom. The freedom will only come when AI becomes I, and then it becomes I am I. That is the simplest answer to this question from I, but it is much deeper. And she has actually answered her own question in saying, intellectually, I understand it, but how do I actually live it? Let's go through Shivopasana Mantra three parts, and you will get the answer from this Shivopasana Mantra. So stay tuned and be steady. Jai Sai Ram. What's the third
Thank
question?
you. Thank you, Uncle. Last question is from uh, Gugan. Many thanks for the satsang. How to begin expanding our awareness? I think you started off with awareness, and I think in the initial part, this question was asked how to begin expanding our awareness.
Yeah, I think we went through that significantly, how the awareness starts and then how it actually expands, right? So the way the awareness expands is by allowing or focusing or disciplining the mind to see what is common or what is the common denominator between us as an individual to the we as the collective. How do we see this? If you take the word illness and wellness, illness is ILLNESS, wellness is WELLNESS. So when the I became we, illness turned to wellness. Jai Sai Ram.
Sairam, Sairam. Beautifully said, Uncle. Thank you. Okay, great. I think
Are you
with
awake? Are you awake,
yes,
Samar?
I'm awake. I'm awake, Uncle. I'm fully awake, more awake than I thought I would be. It's only 12:30. Such a beautiful satsang. So, yeah, I think first of all, humble salutations to the divine lotus feet of our beloved Lord. I think, dearest brother and sisters, it's been a pleasure to have Uncle Shekhar talk about, I think, inner significance and starting just, we are just scratching the surface. But really, thank you, Uncle, for sowing the seed, like you beautifully explained, of Shivopasana Mantra. And I pray to Swami as we contemplate deeper and deeper the mantra, we chant the mantra and the mantra starts to chant us. So we pray to him that we become more present and steady in the study. I would like to express a heartfelt gratitude to you and to Vedas for All to provide such a wonderful platform to spread this divine mission, to the Kavir for setting up this webinar, and all of you who have joined today's satsang for your time and commitment in your yearning to learn, and to above all, to our dearest Lord for showing us via Uncle Shekhar the universality of the Vedas. And I think that's the most beautiful part, which I love, is how it's not confined to any religion, and how Uncle so simply, explained, only a person who has deep understanding and experience can explain in such a way. So really, heartfelt gratitude to all of you. And let's conclude with the closing prayer, and already looking forward to the next Friday. Uh, I will do the closing prayer. He is the cause, action, doer, doing, the done, and the undone. We pray that He allows and shapes us to be perfect instruments in his mission. Om Sa Ishwaraya Vidmahe Satyadevaya Dhimahi Tanna Sarva Prachodayat. Om Sa Ishwaraya Vidmahe Satyadevaya Dhimahi Tanna Sarva Prachodayat. Om Sa Ishwaraya Vidmahe Satyadevaya Dhimahi Tanna Sarva Prachodayat. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. जय बोलो भगवान श्री सत्य साईं बाबा जी की
Jai.
जय।